you won't believe what Qatar did to this gay British airline worker. In a shocking case that sparked international outrage, a 44-year-old British man was imprisoned in Qatar after authorities used a fake dating app profile to entrap and arrest him due to his sexuality before being granted provisional release as recently as last week. Manuel Guerrero Aviña, a dual British and Mexican citizen who worked as a manager for British Airways, responded to a fabricated Grindr message in February that turned out to be a trap set by the Qatari police. His brother Enrique alleged that Manuel was then denied access to HIV medication, legal representation, and had drugs planted on him, actions that human rights group decried as cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment. The disturbing case galvanized a hashtag Qatar Free Manuel campaign demanding his freedom, as both the Mexican embassy and the UK Foreign Office provided consular assistance. While now temporarily released, Manuel's ordeal exposes the perilous risks that LGBTQ individuals face in the conservative Gulf nation, where homosexuality remains criminalized, raising alarms over Qatar's treatment of the community ahead after hosting the 2022 World Cup. So I think this is kind of important because like during the World Cup, like so many people tried to whitewash this whole situation and basically be like, you guys have no place to talk about what's going on in Qatar. And the backstory is that he was basically the victim of entrapment by the authorities. And frankly, if I was one of these gay dating apps, I would actually like have some sort of system that would automatically turn off the access to the app if I was in one of these countries. Because now Grindr, like depending on your location, will like prompt a screen that basically says you need to be careful. Usually, like using this app in this country, it's criminalized. Grindr literally now has like prompts that show up that say like the authorities have been known to entrap people in this country, so use caution. I think that if this is the case, you should just have a feature that automatically like just turns the whole thing off. If you actually care about the safety of this community, if you actually care about the safety of your user,
I don't
it should
know.
just, it should just disable if you're in one of these countries. If you know there is such a long documented history of authorities in these countries like Qatar entrapping people. They do this in Egypt, they do this in Lebanon. Sometimes vigilante gangs will do this in Lebanon and then meet these gay men, and then they're just random dudes like Christian or like religious psychos that will just go beat the fuck out of these gay men because they entrapped them. So sorry.
I might disagree with
Continue.
you. I might disagree with
Mhm.
you. I
Why?
think because if you get rid of this app, there okay, people have to find other people. It's hard, they're gonna use a different app. They're gonna find a different app. And I rather them using an app that is trying to figure out a way to help them, because if they go to a different platform that is not as responsible, entrapments and stuff like this it will happen more easily. I'd rather having an app that them using an app that will try to do something to protect them, because they will find a different app if they weren't using Grinder. Do you know what I mean?
But how is it trying to protect them?
I don't know, but as long as it is doing something, as long as it's an app that is has more resources and is under pressure to do something, I rather them be on that app rather than going on a different app, because they will use an app. We can't keep people apart. They will try to find ways to find each other as people need to. And I rather doing it on a platform that reminds them how to be protect themselves, remind them that this is a risk, gives them tips, maybe provides them some tools for verification. I don't know. Maybe provides a warning system about people like, I don't know. But again, if you remove an app, they will just hop over to a different app.
Yeah, Zaid is saying Grindr and Bumble are pretty much the only safe space for you to meet other LGBT people in the Middle East. Losing them would lead to a lot of people being alone. Okay, I know we have a lot of LGBT people living in Muslim countries in our live chat. Like, what do you guys think is the safest way to try to meet people? Um, yeah, I'm curious.
What's the point of this? Like, I don't understand. Like, can somebody explain the point of this? Like, because even if you have these rules, it would make at least resources, strategically, you might as well just not enforce them unless somebody comes and reports it or something. Well, what's the point of going and doing operations to find people? Like, what is this doing for your country? Like, what is this solving? Are you trying to, are you trying to satisfy some Muslim citizens that demand this? Like, why do you think they do this? What's the point? I don't know what the point is.
I mean, Human Rights Watch put out a report within the past
I
year,
wonder
maybe
if
year and a half, detailing at length the levels of persecution by the authorities. Like this is um
I
it's
wonder
not
if
up for debate. It's not up for debate. And the levels
I
of the
wonder.
abuse
Oh my
that
god.
people go through in detention are mind-bogglingly insidious.
Can I speak now? I wonder if AJ Plus or Al Jazeera English is going to cover this, because they are very, very eager to go out and demonstrate, injustices everywhere in the world, but not in Qatar. What do you think? AJ Plus, which is so progressive, one of the most progressive media outlets out there. Are they going to cover this? Are they going to mention this? I wonder. I wonder. But here's the thing. I saw here people are saying he's subject to torture. What is this
So
about?
they are alleging inhumane and degrading treatment, but one of the main forms of torture that they are alleging against the authorities is that they denied him his HIV medication. And let me just tell you, I actually wanted to touch on this. That people underestimate how freaking devious and scary medical neglect is. Medical neglect, I think, is one of the worst forms of torture that you can inflict upon people. It is it's honestly like, we have people who have survived torture in our atheist republic community, and including medical neglect as a form of torture. And I think it is one of the worst. It's so psychologically scary and terrorizing.
And it's also one that doesn't get attention. It works very effectively because if you hear on the news that they beat somebody, that they electrocuted somebody, that they burned somebody, that will get a lot of support for that person, right? But if they just not give you your medicine, that's you basically living in hell. But it also doesn't get people so emotionally riled up, like the other forms of torture. So it's very effective both into making them suffer and making them talk or making them do whatever they want, and also not get a lot of media attention compared to the other forms of torture that they do on people.
Mhm.
So it
Yeah.
works very well. Yeah.
Um, and Zaid actually had some feedback. He's saying, I use Bumble. My rule is to never meet up with someone who says that they're LGBT in their profile, I only meet up with people who give subtle hints that they're LGBT and use gay terms and lingo that only gays use. Okay, again, the history of gay code within the gay community goes so deep across the world. Like in America, the way that you would tell if someone was gay is if you went up to someone and asked if they were a friend of Dorothy,
Mm.
because gays back in the day were obsessed with Wizard of Oz and Judy Garland. She was a gay icon. So they'd ask, Dorothy, Wizard of Oz, are you a friend of Dorothy? And that's how you would know who's actually gay. And so this goes so deep. That's actually a very good tip, Zaid, because we've talked about how Jordan as a country is taking all these efforts to crack down on free expression as a whole because they want
Mm.
to go track down the LGBT community.
What if I'm just thinking out loud here, okay? What if you made people who wanted to meet just on purpose tell each other that they're not gay, that they're here just to find friends, right? And that would be your code. And if you ever get arrested, you're like, I said I'm not gay. You could see all my messages. I said I'm not gay, right? And I'm just here to find friends, right? And then when you meet people, even when you meet them in person, you keep telling them that you're not gay, and that's actually code. The constant insistence on you not being gay is actually a message that I am gay and I am interested, but repeating it is your code that I mean, that's the opposite. And then you don't have a relationship with anybody until maybe a month of going out with them and talking to them and meeting with them. And again, none of this is foolproof. None of this is going to completely like eliminate the risk, but it will increase the cost of entrapment for the government. Just dating you for a whole month before you do anything, that would require a lot of investment by the government to be able to. I don't know. I'm just thinking, would that be a good strategy? I think that should.
So you're
But
basically trying to
you're
like
welcome.
waste government
Yeah.
resources.
No, I'm just saying it makes it a lot more difficult, to do anything like that. By the way, if the LGBT community are listening to me in the Middle East, and if they do this, and if it works, you're welcome. You're welcome. These are I did this for you. You need to you need to come to me for other advice as well. I have been known to save entire communities with my suggestions before, so yeah. No,
um, Zayd is saying that gay Arabs are obsessed with Haifa Webby. I get it. She is so glamorous. Maybe that could be the new code. Like, are you a friend of Haifa? And also, I just thought this was hilarious. This comment from Habiba. I'm from
oh,
Indonesia, and I'm shocked to see this channel. The name of it.
oh wow, are you okay, Habiba? Are you okay?
If you're shocked by this, I don't think you want to dive
Come.
deeper into our content. I think you're going to be very upset.
Do you need some time? Come here, come here, come here. I'll are you hurt? Do you need talk to us? Oh my
Um,
god.
we got a reminder, guys, remember to like this video if you're having a fun time here. We have like over 800 people watching concurrently right now.
Oh,
So make sure to like and subscribe. And we got this super chat by Robbie Kumar saying, why not cover bad doing two child throat slit, but must okay, look at I've heard about this case in India. I need to investigate a little bit before I decide if we're gonna cover it. Because I just need to investigate the details, but I have heard about this. We might cover it. I don't know. You want to
oh.
highlight those rest?
Yeah. So
Eva.
Aviva said like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
he's like,
okay, bro.
then why are you yelling? I think she needs a hug. I think Habiba needs a hug. Yes, you need the hug. Come here. Come here. Atheist guys, the Atheist Republic community, please give Habiba a hug because she's very triggered by the name of her community. Maybe if you all give her a hug, she will feel more welcome here. Maybe that will help her normalize atheism. Okay, send her virtual hugs.
Yeah.
Maybe she will.
Habiba's like, LGBT is destroying themselves because it's not healthy. Okay, well, Habiba, I don't know if your blood pressure being raised like this is healthy. So,
Calm down. Guys, give her hugs.
and Zaid, this is actually a hilarious comment from Zaid. Guys, how do you yell in languages that don't have lowercase letters like Arabic? That's true. I've never thought about that.
Hey,
How do you yell in the live chat if you don't have uppercase and lowercase?
okay, so there's two ways. First of all, you repeat the vowels multiple times, right? So you just like,
John.
for example, if you say official, right? You say oh, you just keep tipping the oh like endlessly, right? So that's one way. And also in Persian, you Arabize certain parts of the words to make it sound more aggressive. So you change things that don't have ains to ains.
Okay, but what if
Okay, I
you
don't know.
but but you can't do that if you speak Arabic.
No, I'm talking in Persian,
I
right?
know.
You put tashdid and ain in places that doesn't have tashdid and ains. My Arab friends would know that. Anyways.
Sorry, the Google Home was just yelling at me about settings. Okay. It's
Yelling
so
at you.
disorienting when all of a sudden Google is yelling at you about the settings.
Let me
Of
tell this
entire
to the Arab friends, so let me tell this to our Arab friends. In Persian, right? So when you say something that has an aleph and you replace the aleph with an ain in Persian, we see that as an insulting version of it, right? Because it's now Arabized. Okay. So, right? So just wanted to let you know. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, the Arab watchers of this channel will know what I'm talking about. Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do. And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.